Daphne is having some major problems with her 2024 travel trailer, and you won't believe what is living behind the walls.
I started seeing one, then I see another and another. What in the world is this? They're crawling everywhere.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Liz. I interview people with defective RVs in order to pressure the RV industry to take care of their customers. So far, that has been working thanks to you for making the channel the force that it is. Today, Daphney shares her gripping story of major problem after major problem. It'll have you on the edge of your seat, especially when you see what is living in the walls. And I'll have the manufacturer's response later in the video.
It was perfect. I looked at all kind of them, different models, different brands, and when I found this one, it was like, wow, this is going to work for us. I would be able to tow it by myself. My daughter would have her own little bunk room and little half bath. I purchased it at $25,000. I purchased it from the previous owner who purchased it brand new. So on December 13th, the man that I purchased it from brought it to me, set it up. We made sure it was level, and he showed me around all the different bells and whistles. And from that point on, it has really been a nightmare. It's hard to describe the feelings that I have without showing any, I wouldn't say anger, but just utter just disgust in the fact of what I've been dealt with. December 14th, we're getting things in. We were getting excited. My daughter set up her room just like she wanted it. And that night, we went to go get showers. And I was the first in, got in, and I could feel that it was a little cracky. You had to stay to the right side because the left side, there is no support. And as you get closer to the drain area, it really will just cave in a lot. Gently, I took a shower, and the shower door is really hard to open and close, and you almost now have to hold it shut to get out. But so in between maneuvering that, my foot went down on the left part of it where I said it's cracky, and I just slipped and fell, went face forward over. I tore my meniscus in two places. It is extruded out 4 millimeters. I also have a sprain and a fracture all in the same area. I'm now scheduled to have surgery in actually next week. So I've been on crutches since moving in. I feel like it's from poor design, not being stable. Also, there was no caulking around the shower wall at the bottom. Fast forward, there is a leak there, and it was all draining down below. We had only planned on staying here for 2 weeks. Of course, now with the knee issue, I'm not able to travel right now, and we have to be here for a good while.
In a couple minutes, Daphney is going to share what is living in her walls. What do you think it is? Let me know in the comments.
I began noticing trim pieces on the ceiling and around on the walls kind of just pulling off. And I thought, well, that's just probably normal wear and tear. So I glued, nailed, stapled everything back down. It would still continue popping off. I began noticing the refrigerator kind of not being level a little bit. And as you try to open and close it, you had to almost just use some force to get it closed. Shortly after, I noticed the wall where it is connected to the wall panel was starting to gap. Then I moved down to where the countertop is, and you can notice it's pulling away from the wall. I started seeing these spots on the floor, which are now they're screws that are coming up through the linoleum. The floor, I try to use the level about every week to see how much of a change it is, and it is almost like a rainbow in the camper from one side to the other. It kind of comes in and then it goes, meets in the middle. My neighbor came down and I said, "Can you come look?" I showed him that I have a couple walls that were bowing out, one that looks like it's 9 months pregnant, actually. And he does have some construction background. He said, "I feel like maybe the frame's not able to support the weight in here." We went and looked at the weight requirements, and I don't have anything in here that would really bring that weight up to where it couldn't be supported. And so that night I got to looking on the internet, and that's where I found about the Grand Design frame flex issues. And I had the biggest aha moment ever, because with the staples coming out of the wall, there was sawdust in the cabinets, and of course the floor not being level like it is on the inside, which definitely makes it unsafe. I was advised to leave, but I'm in a position where I spent every bit of money that I have, to provide this place for my daughter and I. I retired as a teacher to be able to stay home with her due to some medical issues that she's had. And it's just that I had just worried myself to death that I was doing something wrong. And come to find out, I don't think so. In the midst of all of this, right after Christmas, my daughter started complaining about a smell in her bedroom. And it wasn't until actually New Year's Day or the day after I went back there because I changed all the bedding and I was doing all that. And I noticed that smell. And it was the most putrid smell you could imagine. I was like, what in the world? So for 2 days, I sprayed and I cleaned. Couldn't find anything like any food, drink, nothing like that. Everything was dry. And it kept on, and it was just bothering me because it smelled so bad that it was almost nauseating. So I started digging, and I took the panels off where the bunk bed area, the top bunks are, because there are 4. So I pulled the panel back, and when I did, the smell was the worst smell it was probably 10 times this what you could smell of old milk. I just had to put a mask on. There was no way, absolute, that you could take this smell. I really felt like I don't have a choice. As I went to take screws out, some of the wood just broke apart. It was rotten. I say rotten, it was decayed. And then I started noticing these little larvae. For me, I don't do bugs, I don't do any of that stuff. And I started seeing one, then I see another and another. And I called my mom in a panic because I thought, what in the world is this? They're crawling everywhere, especially when the wood opened up. Or I say, you broke in two, you could see them in there. At one point, when one of the wood pieces cracked open, I literally threw up because the smell was just disgusting. So I took down both top bunks. I said, we can't do this. And took them down. And so when my daughter came back, I just explained to her, I decided just to take the bunks down. I did not want to tell her about the larva because I thought, oh, maybe this is just a one-time thing. The next day, I saw a couple of those little larvae crawling on the wall. Doing some research, I found that there is known issues of something called powder post beetles that has been found in many, many RVs. From what I've read and researched is saying that the wood that was imported may have been infested. They are in raw wood, which means that you're not really going to see them until your wall panels come off. My fear is that there's an infestation behind the walls. Talked to the previous owner. They had never seen signs of it. The lady was a traveling nurse and she had only been in 3 different areas and did not stay in it much at all. Matter of fact, most of the appliances and even the bed still had factory stuff on it, so it was not used very much at all. There is a warranty. It does transfer to a new owner. I still have the 3-year and 5-year warranties on it. I'm curious because the people that I have heard from, they knew people that had VIN numbers right after their unit and before their unit that all had the same issue. They were 2023s, mine's a 24. I just don't see how they can claim that there was no issue there when all these units have the same thing. And I believe there's probably more out there. It's just that until that wood is exposed, you won't know that they're there. My unit was built in June of 2023. It is less than 2 years old. It has not moved since I purchased it. I haven't been in it for right at 2 months now. I believe Grand Design is at fault for what is going on with my RV, not even including the larva. We're all either poor design or poor building quality, and it should not happen in a unit this new. I am scared to death that this larva issue is way more than what I've exposed right now. It concerns me that the frame, that it's not going to be safe for my daughter and I to pull it. I can tell now just within 2 months how much of an issue it has made with the walls, the trim, the floor. And I just feel like it is so unsafe to be in here right now.
So, did you contact Grand Design?
Well, I haven't sent them anything yet. I just got the warranty transferred over. I wanted to hold off until I heard back from you to know what to do. I would like Grand Design to completely just demolish this unit and provide me with a brand new unit that's been fully inspected. I haven't inspected.
I reached out to the top executives at Grand Design, including Don Clark, the president, and they responded right away. Someone called Daphney and discussed the situation with her, and the next day they decided that yes, they are going to do a swap. They'll take her 2024 trailer and replace it with a 2025 of the same model at no additional cost to her. So thank you, Grand Design, for doing the right thing, for taking care of your customers and being responsive. What changes do you think are needed at the factory level to prevent problems such as this? Let me know in the comments. And as always, please like, subscribe, and share. People shopping for an RV often just don't know what they don't know. For example, the importance of getting an inspection. So thank you for sharing this video and stay tuned.